Doug MPA back with another video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on the way in. I'd really appreciate it. It shows that you support me and the content on this channel. So the Martin Luther King statue in Boston, what to say about this thing? It was unveiled a little bit ago. This conceptual artist made it up, and I'm just gonna say my opinion right now. It looks awful. Awful. I found this CNN article with the conceptual artist. He went on the national news to try to justify what he was thinking. Before we get into that, when we're looking at this clip here, there's one magic number I want you guys to think about: $10 million. 10 million tax dollars. That's what went into this statue. And that makes it even worse. So, in the comments, tell me what you think about the statue, the cost of it, and what else you could think of doing with $10 million besides paying for this statue. Because I could think of a lot of things I'd rather do with $10 million. And another thing, this was a conceptual artist. I'm not an artist aficionado, but conceptual artistry is hit or miss. I can think of a couple other high profile conceptual art pieces that were commissioned by municipalities that ended up missing. Particularly in New York, they had the tilted arc in the 80s. It was that big metal thing that they put in the middle of that courtyard that ended up getting taken down. Look into the tilted arc and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's get into this clip.
Okay, so a monument meant to honor the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife Coretta Scott King's legacy, facing some backlash. The embrace.
Look at that thing. Look at the color. It's just awful. Ugh.
It's called the Embrace. The statue was unveiled Friday at the Boston Common, where King gave a speech back in 1965. It was inspired by a photograph of the couple hugging after Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize back in 1964. So look at the hands in the picture and then look at that. The art piece, designed by conceptual artist Hank Willis Thomas, only features the couple's arms during the embrace and not their heads, which has sparked a mixed reaction.
It's not the missing heads that's the atrocity, although people glam onto that. It's a stump that looks like a penis.
He said it. He said the biggest issue, and I agree with him 100%. It looks like two hands holding a big, fleshy. Let's keep going.
That's a joke.
Look at this. Look, YouTubers, I'm sorry, but that looks like a giant penis right there. I'm sorry, it does.
I think the artist did a great job. I'm satisfied, but it represents something that brings people together.
All right, not sure why we played some of that.
So that's the artist. At least she's black. Can you imagine the bigger backlash if it were a white guy or like a white woman that had designed this? Oh boy.
Because it's just obviously trolls. But listen, joining us now is conceptual artist behind the statue, Hank Willis Thomas. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hank, how are you?
Welcome to
Great to
CNN
see you.
this
I got
morning.
to tell you, I saw the small version and the concept beforehand at a dinner, and I thought it was fantastic. There are lots of people who think it's fantastic, and you don't really care that this.
I mean, I care because how could you not think about Dr. King and Mrs. King's legacy and not care? You know, but also when you put art in the world, you can't.
So you see the picture next to the arms? I don't see it. I don't get it. And this guy looks so nervous. At least he went on here, but he didn't see this coming at all. You can tell.
Control what people see. You know, I think about the Rorschach test, the inkblot test. You know, what you see says a lot about what you see about the world. And so the work is meant to be gone into. It's a call to action. You go in and be in the heart of their embrace. So what people see online, I can't really.
So you're supposed to walk inside of it. Oh, that doesn't make it any better.
Control.
I love this because it makes you think more deeply. And I love so much focus is on Dr. King and not on her, right? And it's a couple and the importance of that support and power. But also you say there are so many monuments of the Kings that we don't see them as real people.
And this is one of them.
That was your goal here.
Yeah, I wanted to capture, embody the feeling of love in their relationship. You know, there's a quote that really inspired this piece, and it's from Mrs. King's book, My Love, My Legacy. But it says, to me, the beloved community is a realistic vision of an achievable society, one in which problems and conflicts exist, but are resolved peacefully and without bitterness. The beloved community is a state of heart and mind, a spirit of hope and goodwill that transcends all boundaries and barriers and embraces all creation. So the idea of the beloved community that they talked about, that we forget about, is what I was hoping, and I'm hoping, well, I know whenever I see someone go in, they feel.
That quote says nothing about two hands holding a fleshy, veiny. Let's keep going.
What does it mean for you to be able to contribute to their legacy in this way?
It's unbelievable. Boston Commons, the oldest continuously used public space in the country, dating back to the 1600s. You know, to have a monument to descendants of slaves who were inspirational beings who will be known and talked about for centuries and celebrated through this work is something that I'm eternally grateful for.
Okay, so a couple of rapid fire questions. So you're happy with it?
Oh, over the joke.
No.
Well, $10 million, so he probably got a pretty good chunk of change. So, of course, he's happy with it.
There are no plans to modify or change it?
No.
Would you do that if asked?
I mean, by who?
Right.
I mean,
Where's that change.org form? I'll sign up for it. Let's get some signatures started, y'all.
Because this is a piece that was selected by the people of Boston. And this is not Hank just came and put something. Thousands of people worked on this. Thousands of people actually put it together. And no one saw this, I would say, perverse perspective. And I mean, to bring...
So he said thousands of people worked on this. Thousands of people put it together. So there were so many different layers that could have stopped before this happened. And why didn't they look at it at every single angle? That's my thing. But here we are.
Bring that to the king's legacy and to dictate.
You see him stumble over the word dictate. Gee, I wonder why. Because he knows what it looks like. He knows it.
The making of art and the celebration of them was really strange for me.
I think it's, I mean, obviously, you see what you want, as Poppy said, in the art. And I think sometimes the most compelling art is the controversial art, or what people bring. Because I have this one piece, you know who William Popel is,
yeah, of
in
course.
my home.
Oh, yeah.
And people come in, which was Rashid said, get it, I love it, I love this piece.
I'm going to stop this. One, I just don't see it. This guy, he swung and he missed. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming years you have some kind of petition, even if it doesn't go through, you're going to see a petition to change this or do something with it. Because it's awful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.